Hey guys, what's up? So today I'm going to be doing another story time for you guys. I'm going to be sharing with you guys the story about how I found out I was pregnant for the third time. So if you want to hear about that, then of course just keep watching. So back to 2015 obviously, and it was January. I had just got off my cycle. Well, okay, we're going to rewind a little bit more. My son, he had just turned 1 December 24th. 2014. I breastfed that whole year. So I breastfed up until he turned 1, and then I started to wean him off a little bit because, you know, when they turn 1, they can have like cow milk or whatever. So right after he turned 1, I started to like wean him. And so January, and when you're breastfeeding, your cycles are kind of irregular. Sometimes you have a cycle, sometimes you don't. So my cycles were very irregular, but in January I had my regular period. So I remember, I think it was January 22nd was my last period, and me and my husband, you know, doing our thing, and I'm like, don't come at me, because my my doctor's appointment for birth control, because I was like, I'm going to get on birth control. I don't want to get pregnant. I don't want 3 kids. No, this is not happening. So I was like, do not nut at me, okay? I'm going to the doctor on February 8th, I think it was, and I'm getting my birth control. So I'm just off my period, like we're good, we're clear. I'm not going to get pregnant. Okay, so February comes around and I don't have my cycle. Something happened to where I had to cancel my doctor's appointment from getting my birth control. I don't remember what it was. Something happened. So I couldn't go to the doctor. So February comes and goes, no period. But that wasn't normal. That wasn't not normal for me. Like, you know, like I said, my periods were irregular. So sometimes I would skip a month. And that's like, I think that's how it was. In November, I had a period. I didn't have one in January. And then, no, November I had a period. I didn't have one in December. And then January I had one. So I didn't have one in February. I didn't think anything of it. So March 10th was, March 13th was the weekend. We had like a couples trip planned. We were going to Dallas. We were going to have fun and this and that. So March comes along and I still didn't have my period, but I really wasn't thinking about it. And I remember my friend, or one of my old friends, was like, are you pregnant? You know, this or that. And I'm like, no. I said, I haven't had a period since January, but I ain't pregnant. So backtrack. January was my last period. February, I want to say, I think it was February, my boss had a party at work, and it was, we had like, you know, some food there or whatever. That night after the party, like late February, I started feeling sick to my stomach. Like I woke up and I was just like, I felt like I had like a stomach virus. So I was like, oh, maybe at the party I ate something, you know, I ate something bad. So I kind of just pushed it to the side, and I was like, okay. But ever since that night, I just was, I was sick. It just felt like I had a stomach virus. Like that's what it felt like to me. So this whole week, a whole week went by, and I was just like feeling sick, and I was going to work, and I was like, I don't feel good. But nothing ever crossed my mind about being pregnant. So finally, like I remember one night I was sitting in the room with my husband and the kids, and we were just like cleaning and stuff, and I was like, if I'm pregnant, like I am not keeping this baby. Like I'm not having 3 kids. I would not keep this baby, or I would not keep it if I got pregnant again. And so he was like, you better not be pregnant. You know, we were just joking, because seriously, we did not think that I was pregnant. And then, so for a whole week, I was like feeling sick to my stomach. And then like towards the end of the week, I started feeling, really bad cramps. And like this one particular week, me and my husband were on like a buffalo wing kick. So we were eating a lot of buffalo wings. And when I would eat the spicy wings, my stomach would cramp so bad, you guys. Like I would be huddled over, like hunched over in pain. So I finally stopped eating the hot stuff, because I'm like, maybe I have an ulcer, because I do eat a lot of hot stuff. You know, I love hot food. So I was like, maybe I have an ulcer. I just kind of laid off the hot stuff. So yeah, for a whole week I was like sick. And then I started throwing up. Like, I think I threw up twice, and I'm like, please don't let me be pregnant. Please don't let me be pregnant. I was just, but I was feeling sick. I was like, Lord, please don't let me be pregnant. Please don't let me be pregnant. And I remember one night I was like cooking and stuff, trying to cook and do my regular business, but I just kept feeling sick. And it wasn't like pregnant sick. It was just like I had a stomach virus, but I had to throw up also. So I keep looking over here to make sure my camera's still recording because sometimes it cuts off. But anyway, so I was like, in the bathroom, not just laying on the floor because I wasn't feeling good, and then I was throwing up, girl. Y'all, I was like bawling, crying, like throwing up. Please don't let me be pregnant. I can't be pregnant. And my kids were like, Mom, are you okay? You know, they were like trying to help me out because I was like out of it. And then I think I threw up like 2 more times after that, but I still didn't want to, like, I didn't take a pregnancy test or anything. I didn't want to believe that I was pregnant because, y'all, I did not want 3 freaking kids at all. And so I just, like, kept pushing it under the bus. And we went out to eat the next day. We went out to, like, IHOP or something. And I was, like, so sick. But I was like, nah, I ain't pregnant. I ain't pregnant. I took a pill, like an azo pill that you take when you have, like, a UTI. Because I thought it felt like I had a UTI also. And so I took one of those. And my stomach stopped hurting. Like, I didn't feel pain anymore. So, you know, like another couple days go by, and then I'm at work, and I started feeling sick again, and my stomach was just cramping really bad, like really, really cramping, you guys. So I was like, I have to go to the doctor. I have to go to the emergency room just to see maybe I do have an ulcer. I just got to know. So I went to the hospital, and I was there by myself or whatever. My mom had been watching the kids for me that day because I had to work and my husband had to work. So thankfully she was here. So she stayed and watched the kids while I went to the hospital. And so I went to the hospital. I was in the waiting room for a long time. And then when I got back there, you know, they ask you what's wrong and stuff like that. And he's basically like, you know, what do you feel, blah, 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 when's your last period? And I told him, and I was like, I think I have an ulcer, my stomach is cramping, and I was like, I think I have an ulcer. So I did the whole pee in a cup thing because they were trying to check if I had like a UTI also. So still in my mind, I'm like, you know, ain't nothing wrong. So, well, I'm not pregnant. So he comes back in the room, and he's like, well, the nurse comes back in the room, and she's just like, yeah, you know, and she's just still asking me what do I think is wrong with me? How do I feel? And she's like, well, I'm gonna let the doctor come in and talk to you. So I'm like, okay. And so he comes in there, and he's like, well, to sum it all up, you look perfectly healthy. He was like, you're pregnant. You're pregnant. And I was like, yeah, my heart dropped. I seriously wanted to cry so hard because it's just, I wasn't expecting to be pregnant. It was like the farthest thing from my mind. I don't know why, because we weren't really doing anything to like not get pregnant or whatever. I really just didn't think that I was pregnant. And then, so I had to like call my husband. Well, the nurse came in, and she was like, are you okay? I know that wasn't the news that you wanted to hear. And I was like, I can't be pregnant. Like, I have a baby at home. Like, my son, he just turned 1. Like, I can't be pregnant. And she's like, well, it'll be okay. You know, this, that, and the third. And I was just like devastated because I just didn't think I was pregnant. So I was 10 weeks, I think, I was 9 weeks, according to, you know, whenever your last period was or whatever. And so here I am, pregnant. I think I was 132 pounds. I didn't look pregnant. I was so small. But I will say, I remember one night I was in the shower, you know, once I started getting sick or whatever, I was in the shower, and I was like washing up my stomach area, and this one side of my stomach was so round, and like it stuck out, and my belly button started sticking out really quickly. And I was just like, I just brushed it off because, again, I didn't think I was pregnant. So yeah, I was like 9 weeks, and I told my husband, and he was like, I knew it, because like during those weeks where I was like thinking I was pregnant, I would be crying, and he'd be like, you stupid, I don't know what you're crying for, you know, there's people who got worse problems in the world, blah, blah, blah. But I seriously just felt like I cannot have 3 kids. Like, I didn't want this. Like, what did I go wrong? I would be taking a shower just crying, y'all, like crying, like boo-hoo crying, because I was just so devastated. And then my husband, you know, we had always said if I got pregnant again, if we caught it, you know, I wouldn't keep it, you know. But when the time came, I couldn't do that. I couldn't get rid of my baby. And I'm so glad that I didn't, because she is amazing. I love her. She's so joyful. She's so full of life. I love that little girl. And she's just perfect. So I'm so, so glad that, you know, I stuck to my beliefs and I didn't, you know, get rid of her, because I would have felt so bad. I would have felt worse than I felt being pregnant again, you know, for the third time. So after a while, you know, me and my husband were like, okay, we got used to the fact that, the thought that we're gonna have 3 kids. It was hard on him, you know. It's very hard knowing that you're adding another life to your life, and another baby means more money, and, you know, he was thinking, you know, about all the stuff that was gonna change, and I was just thinking, like, I can't not have this baby. Like, we did this, we have to have the baby. After a while, you know, he came around, and it was just, we knew we were gonna have a baby, so we started talking about, like, oh, I hope it's another boy. We wanted 2 boys, and I'm glad it wasn't. I'm glad to have 2 little girls. And actually, when I was 13 weeks, y'all, I was laying in the bed. I was like 11 weeks. I was 11 weeks, and I was laying in the bed, and I felt the baby moving. Like, I was so surprised, and he was like, girl, you lying, shut up, you just found out you was pregnant. But I really felt my baby moving at 11 weeks, and I think it's because, like, the more children you have, the more in tune with your pregnancies you are and stuff like that. So yeah, I found out I was pregnant for the 3rd time. Just wasn't expecting it, but it's such a blessing. So if you're going through, you know, if you find out you're pregnant, don't be scared, don't be worried, don't give up your baby, unless you're just in a situation to where you, I don't know, it's your choice. I couldn't do it, but, you know, just know it's going to be okay if that is your situation. Yeah, so that's how I found out I was pregnant for the 3rd time. I never took a pregnancy test because I was in denial, and yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick story time. I am home on my lunch break right now, but I wanted to film for you guys. I'm about to go eat something and head back to work. So if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out any other videos. And I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.